A girl was playing the most scary game ever, the elevator game. She entered an empty building and rode the elevator to the 10th floor. As the doors opened, she saw the hallway wasn't her own anymore. What happened next, you won't believe. Before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more scary stories. Also, stay with us until the end for a special gift. There are many urban legends about the elevator game. People have reported experiencing paranormal phenomena such as ghosts, demons, or even interdimensional beings while playing it. Although there's no proof these stories are true, they're still scary. So remember, if you ever play the elevator game, don't be surprised if you see something you can't explain. In this story, a girl decides to test her bravery by playing the elevator game. It was a Friday night and she was alone in her apartment building. The only sound that could be heard was the wind outside. Suddenly, she had an idea. She would play the elevator game, but before that, she needed some company. She grabbed her phone and dialed a friend's number, but he didn't answer. She tried another friend, but he also didn't answer. She decided to do it anyway. She went down to the basement and got into the elevator. She pressed the up button, but instead of going up, the elevator went down. She pressed the 4th floor button and stepped out. No one was inside the building. It was totally empty, but she wasn't scared. She had a friend with her. Well, at least she thought she did. After waiting a few minutes, she got back into the elevator and pressed the button for the 10th floor. As the elevator ascended, she began to feel uneasy. She thought she heard footsteps behind her, but when she turned around, no one was there. Her heart began to race as she approached the 10th floor. She wanted to run away, but it was too late. As the elevator doors opened, she saw a dark and narrow hallway. It looked like the basement of an abandoned house. The air was cold and stagnant. There was no sound except for her own breathing. She took a deep breath and stepped out. As soon as she entered the hallway, the elevator doors closed and the lights flickered. She turned around, but the elevator was gone. In its place was a dark and ominous void. She felt a sense of dread wash over her. She wanted to scream, but no sound came out of her mouth. She began to walk down the hallway. The walls were closing in on her, and she could feel the darkness seeping into her bones. As she walked, she saw a door at the end of the hall. She ran towards it and knocked on it. A voice from behind the door asked her to come in. She hesitated for a moment, but then she pushed the door open and stepped inside. She found herself in a small room with a single chair in the middle of the floor. She sat down and waited. Suddenly, the door slammed shut and the lights went out. She screamed, but no one answered. She felt something brush against her leg. And when she looked down, she saw a pair of eyes staring back at her. They were glowing red in the darkness. She tried to get away, but the room was too dark to see. She stumbled around blindly, trying to find the door. She could hear the breathing of whatever creature was in the room with her, and it was getting closer. She could feel its hot, fetid breath on her neck, and she could hear its claws scraping against the floor. Finally, she managed to find the door and stumbled out into the hallway. She ran as fast as she could, not daring to look back. She didn't know what was chasing her, but she knew it wanted her dead. She ran until she saw the elevator. She stepped in and pressed the button for the 1st floor. As the elevator began to descend, she could hear the creature behind her, its claws clicking on the floor. The doors opened, and she stumbled out onto the ground floor. She didn't stop running until she reached her apartment. She threw open the door and locked it behind her. She leaned against the door, panting as she tried to catch her breath. She didn't know what she had escaped, but she knew it hadn't followed her home. From that day on, she never played the elevator game again. Now it's time for you to tell us your story. Have you ever played the elevator game? What happened? Write your story in the comments below. We might even feature it in our next video. And if you want more scary stories, stay tuned because we have plenty more where that came from. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching. See you next time.